Good afternoon, everyone. Winter's going to return in February. Surfing the seasons. Two cold Dutch tulip farmers using the heat from Bitcoin mining. Dollar knocked out at the knees. YIWU Pay, digital yuan traded for oil, Saudi Arabia. A nice list of edible blossoms. Economist magazine double issue, Christmas in January 2023. Amish in Indonesia. I'm going to go through some meat prices from the Amish here in East Tennessee. And every year it's been like, I can't believe it since 2020. Here comes 23. Starting off here, some after blizzard pictures. New Mexico. Arizona, also North Flagstaff, receiving 4 feet of snow in the same dumping. But we are going to think about riding the seasons, the transitions, economy, food, civilization. It's all starting to transition this year. So we shall start with a moment of Zen. Switzerland is where we're looking here. Bundle up, and this is one of the best views on the planet. So let's rewind just not even 3 weeks ago. Oh, it seems like an eternity already. Global stocks losing 18 trillion en route. Worst year since 2008. Look at the downs. That was all from 2022. Now remember the Economist super issue, double issue. Yay, get it. Read all about it. The December Christmas smashed in with the January 2023 issue. Again, Economist magazine always has a lot of foretelling information in it. BlackRock warns, prepare for a recession unlike any other. History has proven the only way the Fed can fight inflation is with a recession. 80% of the retirees are concerned about inflation and very concerned about the stock market. In 2008, the stock market and housing markets crashed. Meanwhile, gold went from $800 an ounce up to $1,600 in 2.5 years. Big banks and billionaires agree on 2 things right now. We're heading toward a recession, and investors need to buy gold. Patriot Gold Group is introducing the 2023 Recession Protection No Fee for Life IRA. Mention ADAPT 2030, and you're going to get the best in-class service. Patriot Gold Group has a No Fee for Life IRA where your 401k or IRA can be in physical gold or silver on qualifying rollovers. 888-546-7020 to get your free investor guide today. And remember, Patriot Gold Group is Consumer Affairs top rated IRA gold dealer for 6 years in a row. That's 888-546-7020. And now on with the video. I'm interested in where it says the Amish in Indonesia. Lessons of inflation's past. So I did want to talk about the Amish because this is what I have their new updated price list for. The different meats. Let me read it for you here if you would allow me. We're going to compare 2021, which is this one here with the red on it, to the new price list here. Now, one thing you'll notice that they are handwritten, which is nice. Lambs and calves. Now, the lamb is anywhere from 70 to 150 pounds, and the 2021 price is $2 per pound. Now, that's live weight. So if you're going to talk with some farmers about having them keep one of the animals for you, raise it up, live weight means you buy it at that weight when it's alive. And then when they take it to butcher it, obviously, you're going to have some loss because there's going to be a pelt with that. There'll be some of the innards if you don't like to keep those. You got some hooves, that sort of thing. So the amount of meat by the pound that you get versus your live weight, you're going to lose some there. We have dogs, so we keep almost everything because in some way, fashion, or form, almost all of that can be recycled. But the guy who does the lambs for us, he likes to keep the pelts because then he, refines those and then does something with that, which he didn't tell us exactly, but he likes to keep that for himself. Okay. Same with some of the people who do rabbits. They like to keep the rabbit pelts because then they do things with the rabbit pelt themselves as a value add for their labor time. So the same price now in 2022/2023, it jumped up to $2.75 per pound live weight versus $2 from just last year. So this is the Amish raising their prices. Also, the Angus type calf. Now you think calf like, small cow. 600 pounds is their minimum, and that's the smallest that they'll sell to you, 600 pounds. Live weight, $1.20 to $1.45, because if it goes over 600, 700, 800, there's more fat in there, and then they get a higher price because the meat seems to have more marbling. So that's why there's a price difference between $1.20 and $1.45. This year, it moved up to $1.50 to $1.80 per pound for the same type of Angus type calf. Now the Jersey calves here, these are steers, 100% male on that. So same weight range, 600 pound, $1 to $1.20, and then this year they just cut it to $1.60 per pound. There's no variance on the the extra 100 or 200 pounds for the marbling in the meat. So that moved up from, let's say, $1.20 to $1.60, or on the low side it would be $1 to $1.60, about a 60% increase in that. Now the beef processing, if you are going to put a deposit down on one of the calves, it's $100 for the deposit, because if you're going to be taking a 600-pound animal out of there, they're going to want some deposit. Plus, they need to know you a little bit. They need to see you around the market. So if you're going to start utilizing or buying and using local farmers to procure some of your meats moving forward, you're going to have to show your face. And $40 deposit required for the lambs, 1 to 4 month waiting time for the calves. Now that's another thing to think about, is when you want to have some meat from, say, the Amish, for example. You can't just walk up and knock on the door and go, hey, I want a cow. I need a calf right now, and I need a couple lambs. And they'll say, well, those people last year already ordered them. We've been raising them all year on our grass-fed fields out here. And our own feed that we grow, they use several acres over here for their own corn. It's non-GMO and heirloom seed variety, and they try to keep it as clean as they can. So I'd much prefer to have something that was raised on the farm where the Amish are themselves, that grow all of the inputs into that. That takes a little bit of time. Even a little lamb, it takes 4 months to get that raised up enough, because they wanted to get it off the milk of the mother, to let that clean psychological break happen between ripping a calf away from its mother when it's still milking versus, all right, you've milked up, you're a big lamb now, you can go off on your own. So they try not to traumatize the animals like this. And with the cow as well, when they're calves, they still wait for that feeding process to break clean. They just don't go in there and start ripping animals away from their mothers. No, they don't do that. So it's going to take a little bit of time for that whole process of nature, from the birthing into the raising, into the weaning of it, and then finally when they cut from the milk from the mother, then you can have your animal. But this year the coyotes were outrageous and removed 4 lambs off of the Amish farm where I buy from. He was like, I can't believe I got these massive dogs out here, and the coyotes still got 4 of their lambs for the year total. He's like, the coyotes this year are outrageous. Staying on the food here, some of the most common blossoms or flowers, flower petals that you can use for culinary purposes or eating. Let's change that into English. Common flowers that you can eat instead of common blossoms for culinary purposes. Same but different. The ones I would be most familiar with that I've grown myself: arugula basil, the borage has a nice purple, calendula. The dogs don't like that, so if you want to keep your dogs out of anything, put your calendula there. Chamomile, obviously for teas and that sort of thing, but you can eat the flowers. The chives, the chrysanthemum, delicious. Cilantro, clover, and I'm sure you've seen so many of these. Like the dandelions, as long as your lawn's not sprayed out in the beginning of the year, you can use the dandelion flower, or if you want to use the plant for leafy greens, you can as well. Dill, fennel, garlic, hollyhock, Honeysuckle, that takes a season to grow in there, though. Impatiens, I never tried those till last year. I didn't even know how so many colors, and each color has a slightly different flavor to it. I like the more lavender with a little bit of white in them. That was my favorite taste of the Impatiens, if anybody wanted to know. And you have the regular lavender, but I'm talking about the color of lavender in the Impatiens. Like I say, they have a whole bunch of different colors there. And the marigolds, we grow those for pest protection. I haven't really eaten those. I'll give it a try this year. Mints, obviously, and asternums. We were putting those all along the fence line because they come in a variety of colors, and all those are edible. Pansies as well, peas. Rose, I just know rose hips from being able to make tea out of it. I haven't really nibbled on the flowers as such. Sage, we use that more for, the very smallest of the leaves in some kind of garnish on a salad. It's got a really heavy taste, so don't overdo it on that. And then you got the violets. That's an age-old one my grandma taught me about way back in the day. Now keep in mind, these are, you're not going to have bowls and bowls full of these and just be eating flowers the whole time. Moderation. Plus, they have a really heavy taste. Like I say, they're only for garnishes usually. They're still edibles. They'll give you some nutrients, some vitamins, etc. So look to see what this list and what your grow zone would be. And I did pull this list right off of TrueLeafMarket.com. And that link's in the description box below if you want to continue with your search. Spring's coming in right now. And staying on the idea of food, it seems that the new food pyramid, Frosted Mini Wheats and Honey Nut Cheerios are healthier than poached eggs and beef. Okay, look at the green. Watermelon, kale, Frosted Mini Wheats right at the top of the pyramid. Unsweetened almond milk, non-fat frozen yogurt, chocolate-covered almonds are right at the top of the healthy pyramid above orange juice. Wow, this is indeed something to read. Honey Nut Cheerios are above dates. I mean, dates, that's going back to biblical times. Sweet potato fries or chips, we're talking about deep fried food here, are healthier than millet. Put that into perspective. An ancient grain is now downgraded and fried food is put above that. Skinless chicken breast at least is above the Lucky Charms. If the Lucky Charms is above the skinless chicken breast, well, then we're in clown world for sure. And then you can go to the bottom of the list, which is the surprising thing, because when I was a kid, all the things on the bottom of the list were the top of the list. The things like meat and eggs and whole milk, cheese, butter. That was at the top. Now look how it's inverted itself. To be encouraged. Honey Nut Cheerios, kids eat them up. It's encouraged. Eye-opener there. Well, it's no more different than eye-opening with Dutch tulip farmers using the heat from their Bitcoin mining to heat their greenhouses because the electricity is expensive either way. You might as well get the byproduct from it. That's the kind of world we're in right now. And here's an interesting one that came across on Friday of last week. China has now started to interchange YIWU Pay. It's a digital yuan, and they're avoiding the SWIFT system, trading directly with Saudi Arabia to buy the oil. U.S. dollar just lost its dominance, which scares the heck out of me. Because that's the only thing that keeps our dollar strong was the might and the force to force everybody to use that dollar. Once that's gone, we're just going to have Himalayas of paper coming back that aren't going to be worth much. So when I saw this, I really believe that this is the Achilles heel that just got the first nick out of it. It's going to start dribbling. Or if you've seen dam collapses before, that's why, who was that stuck the finger in the dike back in the day to try to prevent the rest of the dam from coming out? We're in that phase right now because it can't be too much longer until once other choices are given with the new BRICS currency, the YIWU Pay, gold, cryptocurrencies, any kind of metals, exchanging off commodities for payment. Once the dollar's not the go-to source for payments on any country buying anything from oil in the Middle East who's participating in that or used to, past tense, the dollar is going to be in the dustbin of history as a powerhouse currency. Will it be used back in the United States? Of course it will. But it'll be a very much deflated purchasing power mechanism or instrument moving forward. Get ready. That was it. That Friday of last week was a mark in time. As big as anything we've seen, it was just so silent. It wasn't a massive event of destruction. Although it was pressing that big old red button on the desk of the financials and the U.S. dollar dominance. Spend it while you got it. turn it into something valuable that'll hold you through these times. We're about to shift into not only changes of ages in solar cycles and where we sit with our solar system, that sort of change of the age stars. We're moving into Aquarius, but also at the same time, it is the switch in the money system as well over a multi-century cycle. So all these are culminating. It's larger cycles on top of larger cycles and smaller cycles intertwined within that, and our lives right at this time, in the now, right now. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video. I'll see you next time.